Welcome to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Avery Henningsen alongside Max Sturm here as the Husson University Eagles women's lacrosse team will be taking on the University of Maine at Farmington Beavers in this North Atlantic Conference matchup here at Boucher Field. Max, we're just about to get underway here as these two teams will be taking each other on out on the field.
And the Eagles are looking to sort of step into their rhythm here as we're just about halfway through the season. They enter today's game 1-5. They started the season pretty shaky on offense, Avery, but their first home game against Thomas last week, they pulled it together. They had 4 players with 3 or more goals in a 19-1 win. And those 4 players were Avery Baker, Maddie Benoit, Sophia Gomez, and Natalie Whiten. And Farmington coming off a very close win over Thomas, only 1 point, 14-13 on Monday, where Ruby McMinnis scored 4 goals as well as Abby Trefster. She had 4 goals and 3 caused turnovers. So both teams sort of trying to find their groove here. We'll see who comes out on top.
Yeah, and those kind of matchups can kind of give you somewhat of an idea of what might kind of go down here today. Obviously, Husson having that 18-1 or 18-point victory difference, that is. We're going to hand this one over to Joseph Swanson for the national anthem and starting lineups.
We'd like to welcome you to Boucher Field for today's North Atlantic Conference home opener, featuring the Beavers of the University of Maine at Farmington and your Eagles of Husson University. At this time, let's meet the starting lineups for today's contest. First, for the visiting Beavers. At attack, a freshman, number 8, Emma Dunn. At midfield, a sophomore, number 11, Ashley Farah. At attack, a sophomore, number 12, Ruby McMinnis. At attack, a sophomore, number 14, Lauren Gerard. On defense, a sophomore, number 16, Allie Bliss. On defense, a junior, number 17, Lydia Eastman. On defense, a junior, number 19, Katie Lebakin. At midfield, a junior, number 22, Abby Trefskar. On defense, a junior, number 23, Riley Forrest. In goal, a sophomore, number 24, Sky Kotkar. At midfield, a sophomore, number 25, Sadie Harvey. And at attack, a sophomore, number 35, Emily Crocker. Farmington is under the direction of head coach Kaya Backman. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for your Husson University Eagles. A sophomore from Farmington, Maine, number 1, Avery Baker. A sophomore from Winslow, Maine, number 2, Madison Lauer. A senior from Wells, Maine, number 4, Abigail Booth. A junior from Hyde Park, Vermont, number 5, Maddie Benoit. A junior from Georgia, Vermont, number 7, Sydney Heff. A sophomore from Bangor, Maine, number 10, Layla Martinez. A senior from Chelsea, Massachusetts, number 11, Sophia Gomez. A sophomore from Wilder, Vermont, number 12, Grace Gardner. A junior from Reedfield, Maine, number 14, Natalie Whitten. A senior from Richmond, Rhode Island, number 17, Montana Carrier. A senior from Tewksbury, Massachusetts, number 21, Devin Beats. And in goal, a junior from Lewiston, Maine, number 22, Emma Begin. The Eagles are coached by Amanda DeHaze, and she's assisted by Caitlin Doloff. Fans, at this time, we ask you please rise and honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Avery Henningsen alongside Max Sturm here at Boucher Field as we are just about ready to get underway. The Eagles will be coming out with a starting lineup very similar to what we've seen so far for them on the season. Number 1, Avery Baker. Number 2, Madison Lauer. Number 4, Abigail Booth. Number 5, Maddie Benoit. Number 7, Sydney Heth. Number 10, Layla Martinez. Number 11, Sophia Gomez. Number 12, Gracie Gardner. Number 14, Natalie Whidden. Number 17, Montana Carrier. Number 21, Devin Vietz. And in goal, number 22, Emma Begin. And for Farmington, they will be coming out with a lineup of Emma Dunn, number 8, Ashley Farrar, number 11, number 12, Ruby McMinnis, number 14, Lauren Gerard, number 16, Allie Bliss, number 17, Lydia Eastman, number 19, KT Labakin, number 22, Abby Trefsker, number 23, Riley Forrest, number 24, Sky Codnoir, number 25, Sadie Harvey, and in number 35, Emily Crocker. And Max, who are the players we want to watch out for in this contest?
I'll start with the Beavers, Avery, and one of those players you're going to be looking at is number 12, Ruby McMinnis. Again, she had 4 goals in her last game against Thomas. And another one you want to look at is Abby Trefster. She had 4 goals as well, 2 off of free position plays, so good at drawing those fouls. She also had 3 caused turnovers, so a lot of just overall contributing from Trefster. For the Eagles, it's going to be your standard attackers, Avery Baker, Maddie Benoit, Sophia Gomez, Natalie Whitten, all of them who scored 4 goals in their last game versus Thomas. And Avery, both these teams with different scores against Thomas. One was a blowout by the Eagles and one was a close game by the Beavers. But in lacrosse, it's often a very... You'd think that the Eagles would have the advantage here considering they beat Thomas by so much, but in lacrosse it's often not the case. Teams match up so differently, it doesn't really matter what the record or the score of a similar opponent has been.
And it will be Farmington who will have the win here on the first draw control, and they had a little offensive possession there while you were talking about, taken away now by the Eagles offense, who we saw kind of explode offensively against that Thomas team. This one given over to Baker. Now back up top to Benoit. The Eagles looking to get something started on their first offensive possession here. As Wynn's going to give this one into the middle. Baker catches and shoots that one. Saved by the keeper, though.
That was a good doorstep stop by the goalkeeper there. A great job stepping in front of it and taking the shot spot on. But, Avery, one of the things the Eagles need to work on in this game is passing the ball. They come into this game with just 13 assists on the year on 51 goals. So not a lot of passing on offense, kind of just running up the field and shooting, some of that being from fast break opportunities, but others just kind of holding on to the ball for too long, and we've seen that result in a lot of turnovers as well.
And very different from what we saw from them last season. Last year, one of the better teams in the North Atlantic Conference in passing. Didn't really lose that many players on that offensive end of the ball. As Baker's going to give this one into the middle to Gomez. Gomez gets blocked away by the Farmington defense, though.
Smart decision from Gomez there, stepping back outside and not just trying to force the shot.
And Whidden giving this one back over to Gomez, now finding Benoit. Benoit had a good game in that Thomas contest. As Whidden trying to push around through the middle. This one up over the top to Baker. Baker shot, and that one into the back of the net for the Eagles. They will take a 1-0 lead into this contest.
Avery Baker with her 12th goal on the year. She leads the team, and once again, just one of those doorstep shots. This time the goalie not able to step inside. She kind of put it on the opposite side of the dominant stick hand for the goalie. And there's not a lot you can do when there's no defense helping you out.
Yeah, and that one right there, I believe, going down as an assist. So the Eagles obviously trying to work on that throughout the season. I know talking to some of the players on the team, that's something they've been working on a lot in practice, is kind of getting that teammanship back out there and not necessarily selfish out on the field, but obviously looking for that pass on the offensive end.
Exactly right, Avery. And we talked about how the season's pretty much already halfway over, but for them it feels like a brand new season. Most of their games came on a trip down to Florida early on in March, And this is only their second home game of the season, so they, in their eyes, they still got a long way to go and a lot of time to improve their squad.
The Eagles also entering the conference part of their schedule now. That Thomas game last week not being a conference matchup, but this one their first conference matchup of the season. See a lot of Husson teams do well once they reach that North Atlantic Conference part of the schedule. This one past middle to Martinez. She's going to get knocked down just in front of the goal. I think she'll have a free position attempt here.
Sophia Gomez, or Martinez rather, Layla Martinez has done pretty well from the free position stripe this year. We'll see if she capitalizes again.
Martinez bringing this one up the middle. This one off the goalkeeper, though. And it's going to go possession to Farmington. Good job on the back end, I believe, from number 16, Allie Bliss, getting there first. Martinez, definitely a player I think who's stepped up a little bit this season. Obviously had a good year last year with 29 goals, but now up to 10 already on this young season.
We talked about a few other players that had 3 goals in the last contest versus Thomas, but Layla Martinez went out and made an impact too. She herself had 2 in that last game.
We also had a number of plays for the Eagles in that central midfield as Farmington now bringing this one up. Shot there, caught cleanly by the keeper as Begin gets her stick in front of that one. That was Emily Crocker who tried to put one into the back of the net.
And early on, Avery, one of the things I'm going to be looking for is how the Eagles move the ball in transition up to offense. We've noticed a few times in the last game, and certainly in some of the other games that they took part in, that they kind of struggled in transitioning, as right there they put the ball on the ground for the second time trying to get it up into the offensive zone. And it'll end up being a turnover maybe if it doesn't go out of bounds. No, Benoit does a great job covering it back up, but definitely something they're going to be looking to improve this time around.
As Benoit gets shoved out of play there. This one will stay with the Eagles. Baker with it. It's going to go up top to Gomez. Gomez thinks about the pass. She's going to keep it herself here. And takes a shot. That one upper corner as Sophia Gomez puts the Eagles up 2 in this one.
A good velocity shot. The defense gave her enough room, and Gomez able to net her 10th goal of the season. Certainly has been making an impact so far. She's got a total of 13 points on the season, shooting about 69% for shot on goal percentage. She and on defense too, she's been a factor. 8 caused turnovers, and she has 13 draw controls. So they're certainly loving her presence on the team so far this season.
Gomez, the I believe grad student for the squad, has been here for a number of years. Was part of that team a while back that wasn't quite as good in the North Atlantic Conference, and then since Amanda DeHaze took over the coaching role, it took her 1 season to kind of get the Eagles back on track, and all of a sudden one of the teams to watch out for in the NAC. Won the East a season ago before losing to SUNY Canton in the overall NAC championship. They went down to Maine Maritime that last season, kind of flipped the script on them. As Wynn giving this one into Gardner. Gardner, that one shot low off the keeper's shins, though. But Gardner will scoop up her own missed shot. And trying to give it over to Lauer. This one getting poked around. As a couple different players have a chance for it. And this one's going to get picked up by Trefsker.
The Eagles do a good job there on the ground ball control, getting up there quick, having 2 bodies, while the Beavers only had 1 person fighting for it, and were able to draw a foul.
And Lauer now with it. He's going to give it back to Gardner. Gardner passed towards the middle. This one too far. Will be scooped up by Viets on the backside. She's going to send this one into the middle to Gomez. Gets shoved to the ground. And referee's letting him play on that one. I think Viets, his momentum really knocked her to the floor. This one, a ball towards the right back position as Heth running to get there first. She's going to scoop this one up. Try to take it out herself. Going to give this one over to Carrier now. Carrier up the field to Martinez. Doesn't manage to get it cleanly. She will scoop it up. Players all around her. She's going to find Lauer now in the middle of the field. Now the Eagles stringing together a few passes out here as Wynn with some running room in front of her. She thought about that pass to the middle. As Baker trying to spin her way up through the middle. Some nice stick work. This one underhand shot knocked away though. That's a tricky little move there to pull off. I think in women's lacrosse, the cradle's kind of so thin out there.
The stick is very hard to cradle, and it was a good job, good effort by Baker trying to get inside there. But that's sort of what I was talking about, Avery. Sometimes in those situations, you just need to pull the ball back out and pass it and look for your other options.
This one passed over to Harvey. Farmington trying to get on the board here. Had a one shot earlier in this one, but didn't manage to capitalize on it. This one knocked away. And possession will go to the Eagles now. As Vietz is going to give this one up the field to Martinez. We saw this a lot in that Thomas game. Kind of the full field run with Martinez. She chooses to pass this one up to Lauer. Lauer trying to catch this Farmington defense, still trying to track back a little bit. This one given over to Whidden now. Whidden going in towards goal, and she's going to put that one home herself.
Good job by Whitten, just driving the right side of the net, putting it on the far post side. Once again, another shot that goes on the opposite side of the goalie's stick. And Avery, so far, these Eagles attackers are not having a lot of trouble with the Beavers defense. They're not really stepping up and putting themselves in a position to make a play on any of these attackers. And honestly, that's one of the things I noted as one of the keys of the game for the Beavers is they got to really be aggressive against these Eagles scorers like Baker, Gomez, and Benoit, who have just done so well all season at putting the ball in the back of the net.
And the Eagles now up 3 on this Farmington squad pretty early in this one. As we are still 7 minutes left remaining in this first quarter. The Gomez trying to win this draw control. And this one getting fought for in the middle of the field. No one's gotten it as Martinez coming in, scooping up the scraps out there. She's going to bring this one up the right side, switching to her left hand, passing over to Baker now. Baker finding Gomez. Gomez over to Benoit. Benoit has to take a left-handed shot. That one off the stick of the goalkeeper. We'll stay with possession for the Eagles as Martinez gets there first. As the Eagles still working on the offensive end. Gomez with it at the top. And give it over to Benoit now. Benoit trying to fit a ball through. That one knocked away by the defense, though.
Another forced turnover leads to a dry possession for the Eagles. Though they'll get the ball back here, take it the other way. Just some passes on this Eagles possession have not been the best choices so far. See if they're able to sort of pull that together as the game goes on.
Whidden over to Martinez now. Benoit now with it, looking for someone to find in the middle here. He's going to give it over to Doiron. Doiron trying to go into the middle. This one knocked up in the air and will be scooped up by Farmington. Trying to heave something up the field. Caught cleanly up there by Grace Campbell. Campbell working against Carrier here. Carrier's going to get in front of this shot. Had it for a second, loses it though, and now McMinnis, an offensive weapon for Farmington, had it, and she'll get fouled just outside shooting arc, so she won't get a free position here. Gonna work against Lengel. Now passing this one up top to Sadie Harvey. Farmington here really having probably their best offensive possession of the contest so far.
Yep, they're holding on to the ball a little bit better, kind of just playing with some pace and seeing what their options are, not forcing any passes inside. They are being heavily defended by these Eagles players, though.
Trying to get pushed out here as that's Maynard on the defense. And Lengel chopping that one clean as Harvey tried to get past her. Nice play by Lengel. Lengel gets hit after the pass here. I think we're going to see a whistle out there against Harvey. As Harvey will receive a yellow card here.
So it'll be a woman up situation for the Eagles. And as of late, they've done pretty well on those opportunities. They got to get it down to the offensive zone first, but they'll look to set up some plays that they've been working on in practice because they got to score on these types of situations. I know they're up 3-0, but in a lacrosse game, things can change very quickly, so you want to score as many as you can in a short amount of time.
As Maynard will give this one over to Heth. Heth going over to Carrier. The Eagles trying to break this press here from Farmington. As Benoit's going to bring it up the field. The Eagles have about 75 seconds which to work with here. Obviously in the woman up situation, there will be one extra player for them out on the field. This one given over to Martinez. Martinez trying to fit something in, taken away by Farmington as they're looking to try to bring this one up the field and try to kill this penalty.
Good job by the Farmington penalty kill team. Really cleanly stopping Martinez from driving inside to the net and then able to pick up the ground ball, and in a woman down situation will have a chance to kill the penalty. As they'll just look to hold it here, keep it out of harm's way.
And Lengel, another caused turnover out there. She's going to take this one away. The Eagles probably still have a little bit of time left on that penalty. As Whitten with it here. Whitten is still holding on to it. She's going to give it over to Gomez. Gomez thought about that shot from distance. And Whitten now to the backside. Doiron. This ball into the middle to Gomez. Players all around her. She's going to have to take this one out again. And Viets now with it to the backside to Martinez. Doesn't manage to get it cleanly. Knocked away for now, though. And Baker's going to scoop it up.
Avery, a few drops here, but those are some good passes. Viets looking for Martinez right on the corner. She was wide open. The pass was just a little too high. So they're starting to see the looks. They just got to capitalize.
And Baker missed pass there. We'll scoop it back up, though. And there goes the penalty. Good job by Farmington to stop that one. As Gomez has it here. Whitten trying to get pushed around out here. Farmington right now doing a good job, but defensively obviously have allowed those couple goals. But in that woman down situation, managed to stop the Eagles from, I believe, even getting a shot off.
Yeah, they stopped him inside at the goal 3 separate times on that penalty kill. Both times, or 2 of the times on Sophia Gomez, who was driving the net. Sophia Gomez does a good job holding on to the ball and saving the possession, but despite that, a great look and a great job by this Beavers woman down team.
And Martinez there turning on the Jets. I think she caught Farmington lacking a little bit. Was behind the goal and then just kind of streaked right in front. That's a very difficult one to guard. If you give her that little bit of space, that's all she needs to just kind of cut in front.
And she's very speedy out there. She's very fast. She can run around that crease very quickly, and no one was back there to defend her. So once she has that first step, like you said, Avery, extremely hard to defend and recover.
Well, she's fast, and she also has a lot of acceleration out there as well. The Eagles almost seeming to do better at even strength rather than in the man down or woman down situation. It's a different face-off player here for Farmington, going up against Gomez. This one popped up, and it's going to go straight over to Viets. think that one was won by Farmington, but the Eagles having other players out there.
Avery, I wonder if Farmington is going to start playing a similar defense to what they do in the man down situation or the woman down situation, as it's going to be a penalty here. Might be a free position shot, but on the woman down situation, the Beavers defense seemed to work very well, and like you said, Eagles playing better at even strength.
This will be a soft with the ball here. She's going to go straight up the middle, try to shoot this one. Knocked away, though, by Farmington. I think we're going to get another foul there on that one. I believe once you go into the shooting motion, then you can't really, you have to get in front of it, but you can't stick your stick in there.
Yep, just a little too much contact there from the Beavers. Second chance opportunity.
Soft from the same spot. This one shot and saved by the keeper. Good job there by Cottenoir.
The Beavers defense closed in very quickly on that free position, and it forced the shot to come from very high up on the stick. She had to lift her arms all the way up to try to get that shot off, and it made the save for the goalie extremely easy.
It sounds counterintuitive, but you almost would rather have it from one of the kind of angled sides rather than right at the top. Kind of have players coming from both sides of you rather than just one. And this one, loose ball in the middle. Good stick work there from Baker. As missed pass over to Benoit, but plenty of time for her to scoop that one back up.
See what the Eagles decide to do here with 12 seconds left on the clock in the first quarter.
As they're going to give this one over to Baker and Benoit's side. That one's going to stream over. I think they're just going to let this one run down. They'll keep possession after the end of the quarter here. We're going to take a quick break here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Right now, the Eagles up 4-0 on the Farmington Beavers. And welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Avery Henningsen alongside Max Sturm. Right now the Eagles up 4-0 on this Farmington team. As we've seen pretty much all Eagles so far in that first quarter.
Yeah, and the Eagles, they do a good job getting their playmakers inside for easier shots. But I do have to give the Beavers defense credit so far. They have found ways to keep the likes of Avery Baker and Maddie Benoit outside. Baker does have one goal, but other than that, she has not been much of a shooter so far. It's very early, only the second quarter. The Beavers' problem lies in their offense. There's no consistency up there so far. Haven't really found their groove or their rhythm. So let's see if in the second quarter they can figure it out.
As Gomez and Veach trying to fight for this one, they're going to get possession over for the Eagles. And trying to give it upfield to Lauer. This one knocked away by Trefsker, though. As we haven't seen a whole lot of McMinnis in this game. Obviously, one of the players we talked about has multiple 4-plus goal games on the season. Had 4 versus Thomas, as well as 4 versus New England College, and then 6 versus Anna Maria, and then another 4 versus Rhode Island College. So it's really been an offensive weapon so far this season for Farmington.
McMinnis has the ball here, and they're trying to run screenplays for. Not going to work this time, but she's drawing the attention of these Eagles defenders, and I think that's something that they've got to take advantage of and try to find some of their other playmakers.
A good defensive play there by Benoit, and right as we were talking about, McMinnis receiving a yellow card there after losing possession of it.
This will be the second woman up situation for the Eagles today, and Avery not able to capitalize on the first one. Farmington did a great job killing off that penalty despite 2 offensive possessions for the Eagles during that penalty. See if they can get the ball back here, because that was a huge part of helping to kill that penalty, is they were able to still force a turnover despite playing woman down.
And missed pass now over to Veets. She's going to scoop it back up, though. Give it up the field to Martinez, and this is what we were talking about, that running room for Martinez. Going to take this one right up through the middle of the field. Do a little cut inside, pass to the middle. Asaf losing control of the handle, though. And Farmington here trying to clear this one out.
It's going to be very difficult for them to try and clear while the Eagles are a woman up. Coming down the sideline. Looks like they might get a chance, though.
As it's Trefsker who's going to bring it all the way up through into the offensive side of the ball for Farmington. Twice now doing well on those woman down situations is Farmington. Will be without their best offensive weapon, though, on this offensive possession. And Veets is going to knock that one away. One of the best defensive players for the Eagles.
Similar look to the last woman-up situation for the Eagles.
Veets a season ago was the Defensive Player of the Year in the North Atlantic Conference. And Gomez trying to go up through the middle now. Plays kind of a defensive midfield role for this Husson squad. Soft up top to Martinez. Martinez cuts inside. A nice little move past the keeper. Will put her up to 2 in this one.
Martinez runs towards the right side of the net. Already, we've talked about her speed, but just that quick first step and acceleration was able to get her past not 1 but 2 defenders, and then just a simple stick switch and an easy shot for her right in front of the net. Puts the Eagles up 5-0.
A good job there by Martinez. It looked like Conwar had that one kind of shut down at first. Martinez managing to cut over to her left side. That's definitely a tricky little move to do in that tight of space.
But with that speed, Avery, that we've talked about, makes it so much easier for Martinez, and the Eagles love getting the ball to her because they know that she has the ability to make those kinds of plays.
Martinez up to 2 goals in this one now. As this one pops straight up, Martinez and Gomez there trying to get it. It'll be Martinez who's going to scoop it up. Waving off some teammates here. She's going to bring this one up the middle of the field herself and give it over to Whidden.
I think another part of the Beavers' struggle so far is just the Eagles' success on these draw controls. Really have not lost any except maybe 1 or 2 so far in this game. And so it's resulted in more offensive possessions for the Eagles.
As Gardner's going to give this one over to Martinez now. And Gomez with it.
That time Riley Forrest able there
Gomez
to stop
cutting
Martinez.
inside. That one knocked away. As it will stay possession with the Eagles for now. Actually, it will be given over to Farmington. We'll see if they can get this one past that dangerous Eagles midfield.
The Eagles' clear coverage is extremely aggressive, as you see. Number 14, that is Natalie Witten, playing all the way out to the end line, not allowing any space for the Beavers to make a play.
And she knocked that one away for just a second, but this one getting brought up the field back over to McMinnis. Out of that penalty, so another successful penalty kill for Farmington. As Eagles trying to get it, McMinnis will scoop it back up though.
See if they try to run the offense more through McMinnis here. I know she's been shut off pretty early by these Eagles defenders, but sometimes you got to just try your very hardest to get the ball to your playmakers, regardless of whether they're totally wide open or not, because they're the ones who are ultimately going to get you back into this game.
This one passed to the middle. The Eagles not there. That one shot left. As that one a chance there for Tresker.
Tresker, another one of those players who's done a good job this season. She had 4 goals against Thomas, has 11 on the season. So, like I was talking about, getting the ball to your playmakers, that's kind of a tough pass to give, but Tresker able to pull it in and put a shot on goal, just went a little wide.
And this one's going to get taken away by Farmington in the midfield. As this will be Ashley Farrar bringing this one up the field. That one's going to get knocked out of play. And it's going to go in the Eagles' possession. As Maynard looking for someone to pass to. It's going to try to give it over to Lauer. And good pick up there from Tresker, going back into the middle. Caught by McMinnis now. Farmington trying to get one of their first shots of the contest.
They're getting a few more possessions this quarter, Avery. Doing a better job of playing defense on transition. Just sometimes passes like that end up being the reason their possession gets cut short. Able to recover here, though.
Looked like on that one, just trying to force something to McMinnis. Eagles were there to cover. As Tresker trying to go back over to McMinnis. This one's going to eventually leak its way over to Eastman. And Eastman going back up top now. McMinnis with it. And Carrier and Viets combined to push Farmington towards the right side. This one past middle, nothing there. It will be a foot race for it. And a couple different players, and Martinez will scoop this one up cleanly.
Came in from behind both of those Beavers attackers. Is able to scoop it up and run the other way. Like we talked about countless times already, just the speed of Martinez gives the Eagles another possession until that turnover there.
And a little bit too speedy of a play. I think the Eagles not really allowing themselves to reset out there.
It's one of the problems we talked about early on in the Thomas game, Avery, just not really able to transition the ball very well. Just kind of playing a little too fast when they could slow it down and really set something up.
And Martinez tried to bring that one up the field and give it over to Whidden. A little bit of a missed pass there led to the foul. Now this one getting brought around the edge. McMinnis shot high. That one caught by Begin, though.
Now they are trying to get McMinnis those shots. She comes around the goal, takes one just a little bit high, but that's sort of what they want to try and get going.
The Eagles already up into the offensive end there. 2 passes will lead to it. Doiron open in the middle for a second. Baker now on the second player coming in. That one upper corner. The Eagles had a nice little play running on that one. Kind of had Doiron come in, led all the defense out of the middle there, and then Avery Baker wide open in the middle.
Yeah, Doiron comes up, leads the defense out, stops on the right side of the net, kind of settles down. Avery Baker comes streaking down the field, and like you said, a good shot over the head of Conwar. And the Eagles will take a 6-point lead. Just 7 minutes left in this second quarter. And now the Beavers defense needs to start thinking about how they're going to stop quick plays like that, because it's been a few goals already off of a fast break. They've done well when the Eagles have settled down at keeping those star players for the Eagles outside of the attacking zone. But when they get those fast breaks down the field, they've given up quite a few goals.
Yeah, that one was a quick little transition. Farmington had the offensive possession, couple good shooting opportunities, and then 2 passes later, Eagles were in the back of the net. This one popped towards a cluster of players, and will be won by Farmington. I think probably one of their first ones of the game. The Eagles have been dominant on those draw control plays. McMinnis is going to lose her footing just behind the goal here.
It'll be called a foul, I believe. Or no, it'll end up being a turnover. Nope. It's going to be a foul, and they'll get to keep their possession.
As this one given back up top now. Emma Dunn with the possession.
Dunn, another one of those players who's got some speed and able to make some plays.
And she's going to give this one away in the middle. Veets picking it up as they're trying to break this defense down. Alengo up the field towards Whidden. Good catch there out on the right side. Whidden with Baker on her left. We saw that play just earlier between her and Baker, and the Eagles choosing this time to slow it down a little bit.
Yep, Beavers defense was ready that time. Had a defender set up in front of the goal. Didn't allow Baker to cruise inside that time.
Baker giving it over to Gomez. Now Whidden with possession, cuts towards the middle, a couple players through. I think that'll be shooting a space penalty on that one. So Whidden will get a free position attempt here. Whidden so far on the season done pretty well on these free position attempts. She's going to cut towards the middle, take the shot quickly, and this one's going to stay in play. And now giving it back over to Conwar. He's going to give this ball up the field to Trefsker. And some running room in front of her for now. Maynard and Baker trying to get there. He's going to give it over to McMinnis. And McMinnis bringing it all the way up the field. She's going to take a shot low. Another save here from Begin. And she's done well in goal so far today.
Eagles defense kind of steps up there. Kind of looks like a fast break opportunity for the Beavers, but they close in, stop that attack to the net by McMinnis. And Begin, like you said, makes another great save. She has a few of those in this game so far. Really putting on a show for the Eagles. And once again, another wasted possession for the Beavers.
That's going to be a yellow card awarded there to Farmington's number 11, Ashley Farrar.
Yellow card issued to Farmington's number 11, Ashley Farrar. 2 minutes.
As I believe that might be her second of the contest so far.
Yeah, I think the earlier one was on Farrar. One of those players you can't really afford to have coming off the field. She herself is quite the contributor. 19 points on the season, including 16 goals.
And Baker putting that one into the back of the net. And that will get her hat trick in this one. As she cut to the left and put that one home. Baker had 3 goals a season ago when these two teams met, and has matched that total already in this one.
That'll be her second straight home game in front of these fans with a hat trick. Something I'm sure these fans are excited about, but also just shows how good of a player she is for this Eagles squad. Really can get her the ball early on and allow her to make plays, and she will contribute.
Yeah, Baker, the reigning co-rookie of the year for the North Atlantic Conference, scored 49 goals a season ago as a freshman. Up to 14 in this one. Had a little bit of a slow start to start out the season. Obviously, the Eagles still, after this contest, having 6 matchups left in the regular season. So a chance for her to try to match those totals. Going to have a big second half of the season, though.
We've talked about just how Husson teams from all sports seem to play up once they get into conference play. Avery Baker might be taking notes on that as she's getting started. Like we said, 2 games in a row here at Boucher Field with 3 goals as we enter conference play.
And still 34 minutes left in this contest as well. Baker had 8 goals through 5 games to start off the season. And back-to-back hat tricks now puts her up to 14. As the Eagles' overall offense was a little bit slow to start out the season, as they scored 10 goals in their first contest and then had 3 straight single-digit games for having that 19-1 victory over Thomas. And the Eagles now up 7 on this Farmington team, haven't allowed a goal so far in the contest. Really only a couple shots allowed as well.
Beavers definitely took that time out there to talk about how they're going to stop Avery Baker, but also how they're going to start getting things going on offense. Like we've mentioned a few times now, not much time of possession for them down in the offensive zone, apart from a few of these last possessions where they kind of slowed it down a little bit. They had some looks with McMinnis and with Trefscher, but so far not able to put the ball in the back of the net. Might have made a few changes to the playbook.
And 5 shots for Farmington to the Eagles, 17 so far in this one. As Farmington only has 2 of those being on goal. As there'll be Maddie Benoit here in the middle for the draw control. She's going to lose that one to Emma Dunn. As the Eagles have 11 shots on goal in this contest. Farmington will have possession here, trying to get something on the board. Obviously still a lot of time left in this contest. This one into the middle, McMinnis shot. Another save here from Emma Begin on one of her best defensive performances in goal on the season.
This time McMinnis makes a good cut inside, receives the pass, and it was a good shot too, Avery. I think Emma Begin is really feeling herself out there today in goal. Really having a good day so far. Like we talked about, 6 shots coming from the Beavers. Not one of them has found their way past her.
As this one getting it brought around the backside. Benoit knocked to the ground here. As ball up over the top. Begin, though. Good job covering that backside of the goal. Going to go upfield to Asaf. Going to get this one knocked away. Foul will get called, though. I think that's going to be a green card potentially awarded to at number 23 in Riley Forrest.
And once again, Eagles will get a woman up opportunity here. Still haven't been able to capitalize on the previous 2. Farmington's done a good job stopping that Eagles attack when they're woman down. Let's see if they've made some changes to that plan.
And this one's going to get brought up the field by Whidden. Now back to Asaf. Asaf finding Doiron. The Eagles, a few new offensive players out there. And this ball trying to find Gardner in the middle. It's going to bounce around and get eventually scooped back up by Gardner. Gardner finding Benoit now. Benoit, some speed in front of her. She's going to slow this one down, though. And Wynn backside to Martinez, cuts around and puts this one just wide of the goal. I think she had open room out there in front of the net. Kind of faked out the goalkeeper. Just put it an inch or two wide.
Yeah, and a great job by Martinez getting inside. Missed the shot, and Avery, I think it's because she decided to go low with the stick. We talked about how hard it is to keep the ball in a woman's lacrosse stick. It's a different head than the men's. Much harder to control. It was a good possession, though, for the Eagles. Just not able to put the ball in the back of the net this time.
Farrar, long pass up the field. This one bouncing over. McMinnis wide open on the backside. She's going to potentially get a shot off here. Eagles defense, though, in Viets and Carrier coming to shut this one down. Big opportunity there for Farmington. Looks like they caught the Eagles a little off guard. As big pass up over the top led to that one. And Booth is going to take this one away. Going to go over to Doiron. Doiron at middle now to Lengel. And Lengel's going to take this one herself up through the middle. And she's going to loop this one around the right side, giving it over to Win, and catch and shot. And she puts that one into the back of the net.
Lengel playing wide outside of the net. Waited for someone to come in to that crease side right in front of the net. Ball was caught and put in very quickly. No one in front of the net to stop. One-on-one with the goalie. And Avery, suddenly it's an 8-point Husson lead with just over or just under 2 minutes left to go in the second quarter.
And that one will definitely go down as an assist for the Eagles. As that was Wynn who got wide open on the backside. Good eyesight there from Lengel to fit that one into her.
That's something that they have done better today, Avery. I believe at least 5 of their goals so far today have come off of assists. We talked about the low assist-to-goal ratio earlier before the game started. And they've done well so far in sharing the ball and passing it and finding open looks.
And this one popped up in the air. The Eagles now 0 for 2 without Gomez in the game on those draw control plays. As the Farmington Beavers trying to pass this one around. Ball towards the backside and scooped up by Begin. I don't think that one will go down as a save, but we'll give possession back to the Eagles.
Another solid possession from the Beavers, just that doesn't result in points for them. They are finding the looks, Avery. It's whether it's just a dropped pass or a pass that's a little bit too far in front. They haven't been able to click so far. They have the plays written up to beat this Eagles defense, just unable to get in the back of the net so far.
And another opportunity here for Farmington, as that one is shot too high. Crocker trying to get that one in. As I think Heth beating out, I believe, number 4, Grace Campbell out there. Looks like Campbell had a little bit more room in front of her. And Heth not managing to get that one back up to the offense. Pass towards the back post. Best opportunity here. That one knocked away. No whistle here as Martinez will scoop it up. That was Crocker again who had it wide open in front of the goal.
And twice now, the Eagles defenders somehow able to get back in front of the net on a one-on-one situation with the goalie and stop the shot from coming, or at least affecting the shot. Something they've done extremely well here today.
And Gardner coming in there off the offensive substitution is going to scoop this one up. Gardner ball back to the middle. Eagles, not enough time left on the clock, though. Now we'll end the first half of play. Eagles up 8-0 on Farmington. As that was definitely a big first half for this Eagles squad.
And it's been a pretty defensive game so far. I know the score would say otherwise, but the Beavers defense has been playing well. They know how to kind of count out those players on the Eagles offense, but like we've talked about, just not enough opportunity for them on their side of the ball to really keep up with the Eagles so far.
And we will take this one into the break. It'll be about 10 minutes before we're back here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Avery Henningsen alongside Max Sturm. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Avery Henningsen alongside Max Sturm here at Boucher Field as the Husson University women's lacrosse team is up 8-0 on Farmington. As we've seen Avery Baker get to 3 first-half goals in this one, as well as 2 for Layla Martinez and Natalie Whidden. As Max, what do you think Farmington needs to do in this second half? Maybe not to come back and win, but at least put some points up on the board.
I've got it in all caps right here, Avery. They need to possess. They only have 7 total shots. Only 4 of those are on goal. And the defense is providing opportunities for the offense, but they just haven't been able to capitalize. They either get it down there and turn the ball over, or in the case of the last quarter, the end of the first half, they did have some really good opportunities and shots, just not able to put it in. So they just need to keep sort of doing what they were doing at the end of the quarter, but maybe be a little bit smarter about the passes that they make.
And one thing they have improved on for sure is their draw control plays, as they've won a few in a row against this Eagles squad. As we'll see who's going to eventually come away with this ground ball. It has players all over the place. I think half of both teams are right down here trying to fight for this one. For now, Farmington's going to get it. It'll be Crocker trying to bring it up the right side of the field, now giving it over to Dunn.
The Beavers got to set the tone here for the second half. Look to get something going. Again, tight, aggressive defense from the Eagles to start this half off, playing them out pretty wide. But that'll also allow for opportunities for people to get open on the backside or potentially come around the net.
As trying to loop it in, just like you said, is Campbell. He's going to give this one out wide to Eastman. Now ball back up to the top. This one shot. This one a little too wide, though. As Begin keeping up the clean sheet so far in this one. Had 4 first-half saves.
And Gerard with a good shot there. And good backup there by Emma. I believe that's Emma Dunn. Backing up the shot, keeping possession for the Eagles. And now there'll be a card, I believe, on the Eagles. That's going to give the Beavers their first woman up opportunity of the half, or of the game, actually. And this is really where they need to capitalize. They can truly set the tone with this opportunity right here.
And that's number 4, senior Abigail Booth, one of the starting defensive players for the Eagles. Started 30 of her 31 games here for Husson. Definitely one of their key defensive contributors out there. This one, a ball to the middle. Tresker trying to get on top of it. And it'll be Benoit who's going to pick it up. Ball to the middle to Baker. Baker has Gomez out on her left, trying to give it over to her. Going to lose possession, but scoop it back up. As we'll see if the Eagles try to kill this penalty down. As a couple players go falling behind Gomez. I think they ran into each other out there. So on a ball to the middle to Baker. Seen a lot of high passes in this contest for the Eagles. As Whidden with it. And now Gomez trying to loop her way inside.
Remember, the Eagles are still woman down right now. So if you're the Beavers, you probably want to start attacking the ball a little bit more. They're kind of giving them a lot of room, allowing them to kill off this penalty.
I think they're definitely a little bit scared still of this Husson offense. Obviously, most of their offensive players still out there, despite being woman down. Win ball to the middle to Martinez. She catches and scores. The Eagles getting the women down goal here in this one. What a flip of the script. Right
Yeah, that was a high pass, but it was almost perfect because Martinez was the only one in position to jump that high and catch the ball. And then it was a very slow rolling shot into the net, but one that caught the goalie off guard enough to pass through. And now a 9-point game. So we enter the rest of this third quarter. And now if you're the Beavers, now is when you really start to worry, because a 5-point game, that's one thing. But now down almost 10 points with a whole half left to play. it's an extremely difficult situation to come back from.
I think the substitution we missed on that halftime as well. Lacey Scanlon now in goal for the Eagles as she took begin off the field. Had that first half lockdown defense out there.
I think there's going to be a foul here. It's going to go the Eagles' way. I believe Viets got pushed over.
You guys got the Scanlon substitution, right?
Now Viets will take possession, and it's going the Eagles' way.
As that will be a card there against Trefsker.
A 2-minute penalty. Now see if the Eagles can get the woman down and the woman up goal. So far, they have not had a woman up goal in this game. It's kind of been the saving grace for the Beavers. Kind of the bright spot for them so far is stopping these offensive attacks when they're playing woman down.
They've had a number of opportunities as well, at least 3, as that was Gracie Gardner who caught that one and put it into the back of the net for the Eagles. Her 3rd goal of her first season here with the Eagles.
And as we were saying that, Gracie Gardner finds her way up in front of the net, and it was a pretty wide open pass. And theme of the Eagles' goals so far, Avery, has been having that one-on-one opportunity with the goalie. When they are able to break this Beavers defense, they're able to get right in front of the goal, and that's where most of their shots are coming from.
There'll be a timeout here for Farmington. We'll take a quick one, too, here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment. And back here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network, this timeout almost over. The Eagles now up 10. It will be running clock for the remainder of this contest unless Farmington brings it back to less than 10.
Kind of puts them in an even worse position as far as making a comeback. However, like you said, if they're able to bring it within 9 or less goals, the clock will stop again. So a little bit of extra pressure for them to get some points on the board here, or else they're going to run out of time.
As it will be Gomez against Dunn here in midfield. As Farmington trying to reset a little bit out there. Led by Coach Kaya Backman, her first season at the helm of this Farmington team. Was a 5-year player for Farmington, 2-time captain for them as well. Started 47 of her 48 contests for Farmington, so just graduated last season. So a lot of these senior players, senior and junior, and really sophomore, I guess, players as well, played with their coach just seasons past.
We talked about in the last game versus Thomas how the Eagles with Amanda DeHaze having that sort of younger presence and previous player presence is super important, and it's helpful to these players that are out there. And now Farmington getting that coach, that kind of experience on their sideline. First-year head coach, she's going to look to improve every single year, but so far they're 3-3. Not a bad start to her head coaching career.
Yeah, Farmington last season 1-11, so already an improvement in their first year. And that one, I believe, a shot and score from Natalie Whidden.
Her second of the game. And that one, very similar to her last.
As that one putting her into the hat trick category out there.
Her third goal, actually. And yeah, similar to one of the other goals she had in the game, Avery, where she kind of just drove to the net unguarded, undefended, one-on-one with the goalie, as a lot of these goals have been. This time putting it low.
As the Eagles will now move up to an 11-goal lead. Like the cold starting to set in a little bit for all these players. You see a lot of players kind of jumping up and down out there, trying to keep themselves warm.
Yeah, quite a bit different than earlier today, Avery. It was pretty warm out, but as this winter storm in April is making its front into Bangor, the temperatures are dropping.
Yeah, Bangor about to get hit by a little nor'easter here, our second in the last couple weeks. I think a lot of it will probably melt off pretty quickly. Baker here shot this one high. Saw a pretty big storm just a week and a half ago that has kind of a few little clumps of snow out there still, but most of it's melted off. Like the lacrosse team and or baseball teams don't get struck by it as much up here on the turf field. As Gardner having possession here. Like the Husson softball team really the ones that are getting kind of screwed over, as that one shot from Benoit gets it's knocked back out here. And Baker's going to lose it in the middle of the field.
Yeah, I think she thought a free position play was coming. That's not the case. Ball was still live.
And it will be Martinez who's going to pick that one up. Now back up top to Benoit. Benoit ball into the middle, trying to find Baker, too high for her. And Martinez just barely managing to keep that one in play. So now it will be a clear attempt here. That one taken cleanly by Gomez as she steps right in front of that pass. Usually you see the defender kind of knock it away rather than catch it right out of the air.
It's those problems we talked about for the Eagles with transition. That's sort of what's happening for the Beavers here. They're making great stops on defense. Goaltender's done a great job, but now just unable to clear the ball out. Again, another pass that's just going to end up going close to out of bounds, but maybe contested here, and it will go out.
As that was Heth and I believe Crocker who ran into each other down on the sideline. Going to be a yellow card to Heth. She had kind of a head of steam trying to get over to that ball.
It'll be another woman up opportunity for the Beavers. Weren't able to capitalize on the last one. And with the clock running now, no stopping. They've got to get on this ball quick and try their best to get it in the net as fast as possible.
And Heth, another one of the starters on defense for the Eagles, has started 32 of her 32 contests with Husson. So another one similar to Booth, important on the defensive end. This one, ball into the middle, caught, but not fully there on that one. And we'll go just wide as McMinnis is going to scoop this one up. I think if Farmington had managed to catch that one cleanly, they had a good chance to put one into the back of the net.
Yeah, Tressler was right in front of the net, just unable to corral the ball. And there goes a goal for the Beavers.
That was McMinnis who caught it and put it into the back of the net. McMinnis, that player you highlighted at the start of this contest, her and Tresker connecting on that one.
And the Beavers certainly have struggled on offense today, Avery, but you knew that McMinnis would get her shot at some point this time, able to capitalize. Another one of those shots that just comes right in front of the net, similar to the one that Trefster had moments before that was not able to be corralled and shot. McMinnis makes up for that mistake and puts it in the back of the net.
And a tough one there for the goalkeeper in Scanlon. Looked like Abigail Booth had been subbed off, and then having Heth with the penalty there. Two of the Eagles' top 3 defenders who were just play defense missing out there on the field for that possession, and McMinnis getting wide open right in front of the goal.
Another bright spot of this Beavers game today has been the success of their draw control at the end of the second quarter and into the third. Done a great job at least getting possession initially. A lot of those possessions ending in turnovers, such as this one, as Viets comes away with the ball.
Yeah, and I think what really changed is Emma Dunn began taking those draw control plays. And I think she's won the majority of those. Heth out wide to Maynard now. She's going to try to bring this one up the right side. I believe they're going to blow the whistle there on Trefsker. Trefsker will get a green card on that one. Trefsker will come off for 30 seconds here.
And so far, this Beavers defense has done a good job in woman down situations. Very short penalty this time that they have to kill. Certainly want to show that they're strong in that aspect. Not allow these Husson attackers to get inside.
And it's going to be a whistle there on, I believe, Farrar. So this will be a free position attempt for Asaf. We saw her have one earlier. Didn't manage to capitalize on that one.
And 3 of her 4 goals have been on these free position shots.
And she's going to lose possession herself on that one, trying to cut over to the right. I think just got a little bit too technical with the stick. As Gomez has possession, she's going to take a shot off of the goalkeeper. And this one kicked out by Farrar. And it's going to get scooped back up by the Eagles.
It's been a tough day for Contenoir in goal, but a great job stepping up in front of it this time.
And Benoit gets leveled out there in the middle of the field. Caught that one, had a defender right in front of her. That will be a yellow card awarded to, I believe, number 19 in KT Labakin.
Glad to see Benoit get up from that one. That was definitely a hard hit, and now she'll get an opportunity from the free position stripe to net another goal for this Eagles team. It would be her first of the day.
Benoit taking a second to recollect herself out there. She's going to scoop this one up. Benoit usually pretty good on these free position attempts. As she's going to send this one in towards goal and save there by the goalkeeper in Contenoir. A couple good saves here from her in this one. Going to try to send this one up the field. Be a ground ball opportunity right in the middle. That one goes underneath the stick of Sydney Heth, but Montana Carrier there to back up her teammate. And Benoit's going to lose possession of it for now. Trying to fight for it in the middle of the field. And she's going to take it right back here.
Yeah, McMinnis tried to clear that ball out. Kind of got the stick stuck on the head of one of the Eagles players. Benoit comes out of it. Goal opportunity.
And what a cut there from Asaf as she brings that one up through the middle. Azabel Asaf, one of the freshmen for the squad, netting her fourth goal of the season.
I believe that's actually her second or third of the day. Another great opportunity from Asaf. Just gets the pass from Benoit, runs straight up to the net, makes a quick move on the only defender standing in the way, and then puts the shot on the ground. It's a goal for the Eagles.
A good bounce back play there from her. Missed that free position attempt a few minutes ago. That one managing to cut up through the middle and put it into the back of the net. It'll be Gomez going up against Dunn out there. This one popped to the right, caught cleanly by Martinez. And Martinez bringing this one up the right side. Going to get hit in the head on that one. Dunn coming over there to check on her. She will get carded for that.
Another hard hit for an Eagles player, this time Martinez catching the stick of Dunn to the head. Just trying to play defense. Definitely was not intentional. Just some aggressive defense from Dunn. Ends up putting them a woman down once again.
I believe there are actually 2 women down in this one right now, as Lebakin still serving her penalty as well. A big opportunity here for the Eagles. Maynard back over to Gomez. Eagles have a couple extra players out there on the field. That one a shot from Asaf and saved by the keeper. He's going to try to pass this one towards the backside. Dangerous little pass out there.
And the ball for Cottonwar, the goaltender, coming out a little strange on these last few clear attempts. It kind of like catches the top of the pocket and falls short. Potentially a reason why their transition offense has not done so well today.
And I don't believe Conwar, the actual normal starting goalkeeper for this Farmington team, Kate Knoll, started all of the games for them last season and the first 5 of the season this year. And then didn't manage to start against Thomas or Husson. As another big hit out there, Lebakin coming right back in as she knocks Gardner to the ground. They're going to stop the clock. Gardner taking a second to get up out there. Some of the training staff coming out. Lebakin coming straight off the penalty, went right back out. At least she was the one who laid the hit on Maddie Benoit. A couple big hits from her here.
As you get down into the last quarter or so of this game, and you're down as much as you are, you're not necessarily intending to hurt the opposing team, but you're definitely a little bit frustrated, and that results in some extremely aggressive defense, as you see here. Now she's walking off under her own power. Glad to see she's all right.
As both teams will try to recollect themselves a little bit. Gardner coming off the field, looked like she might have gotten hit in the stomach on that one. Potentially the wind just kind of knocked out of her as the Eagles will try to reset on offense. Benoit coming back out to replace her out there. As Eagles will have possession here on this one. As it will be given over to Farmington. Keeper with the ball. I think you mentioned a couple not so great passes out of the stick there. Obviously, I think Conwar listed on the Farmington roster as a defender, potentially getting some of her first minutes in goal of her career.
That's an extremely tough position to be in, but as a team, you admire the confidence that she has to step in the net, especially as a first-time goalie potentially. You just cheer her on no matter what. If you're the Beavers, she's done a pretty good job here tonight, has let in 12 goals, but certainly not all of them are her fault.
As the Eagles here, a woman up opportunity still. Giving back over to Benoit at the top. Eagles working on some passing here in this one. Now back over to Martinez. Martinez has Romaztic in the middle here. She's going to try to give it over to her. And she's going to lose this one for now. That will end the third quarter of play. We'll take a quick break here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network and be back in just a minute or two for the fourth and final quarter of action. And welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network as we are back here for this fourth quarter as Gomez is going to win this possession here.
Avery, so far a dominating performance for the Eagles. You saw the Beavers get one goal up on the board on their woman up opportunity. And another good job by the Beavers defense, kind of a bright spot for them tonight with a new goalie in, one that they haven't had all year, taking the place of Katie Noel.
And Booth having possession here gets this one pushed out of play. As Farmington will get called for the foul, though. As they continue to move this one up the field now.
Eagles still playing with some of those players that you normally see out there.
And welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. A little technical difficulty on that one as that was Abigail Booth who got the goal up for the Eagles, putting them up 13-1 in this contest now.
And her first goal of the season, Avery, along with her first official point for the senior out of Wells, Maine.
As that will stop the clock down there. Booth, a senior, first point of the year, like you mentioned. Has 5 goals in her career, had a couple last season. I think she played a little bit more of a midfield role a few seasons ago. As that's Sadie Harvey who's going to get a penalty called on her out there. A lot of the Husson bench now into this one.
One thing the Eagles have done very well tonight is drawing cards and getting these woman-up opportunities. The Beavers' defense, once again, sort of a bright spot for them, has been stopping these woman-up opportunities for the Eagles. But nonetheless, the Eagles have been able to capitalize on it a few different times now.
As that one will be a penalty called on Farmington. As most of the Eagles starting offense out of the contest now. That one a shot from L'Engle and scored for her. As she gets her 3rd goal of the season and first of the contest.
Jordan L'Engle, one of those dual sport athletes that are on this Eagles team, netting her 3rd goal of the season, first of the game. And that's 3 games now in a row, apart from that Bates game last week, that she's had at least 1 goal. Definitely coming into her own as the season really gets started, at least in conference play.
I believe L'Engle, a fairly unexperienced lacrosse player out there, but has definitely improved over the last season and a half.
And they've had her covering both Ruby McMinnis and Abby Trefster throughout this game, 2 of those players that we've highlighted earlier and have been the impact players for the Beavers. So they're really starting to trust her with some responsibility on this team. She's had a lot of playing time today.
And now moving up into a more offensive role in that first 3 quarters of play. We saw more of a defensive substitution. As a soft trying to give this one into the middle. And she's going to lose that one. Trying to send it up the field. Booth managing to hit this one back in play for now for the Eagles. And L'Engle's going to scoop it up. As L'Engle giving it over to Maynard. Maynard trying to cut to her left. He's going to go towards goal and put a shot on that one. Saved by the keeper, though.
A good break inside there, but an even better save by Cottonwar. There in goal. Eagles still have possession, though.
As that one turnover there by the Eagles. For now, if someone managing to scoop it up. As this one's going to eventually bounce its way back out to Benoit. Benoit up top to Gomez. Gomez cutting inside. Gomez shot too high. Gomez beats and Benoit, the 3 remaining kind of offensive players for the Eagles that started this contest.
The Eagles, you know, it's kind of late in this game. They've already had it won for a little bit now, but they're getting some good practice in there, and they're doing a good job of maintaining possession. They've got two backers behind the net waiting for those shots to come by, so whenever they miss a little bit wide, they've always got someone there to either recover the ball or to be there when it goes out of bounds, as whoever the closest woman to the end line is when it rolls out of bounds maintains possession.
As Tresker will get another yellow card here, so the Eagles will be woman up situation. Gomez, a free position attempt from right at the top of the key. She's going to bring this one in, try to bounce that one in. Nothing there, though. It will stay possession with the Eagles, though. As Lango pass over the top, back to Gomez. Gomez, second opportunity, gets that one to go. And she'll get her second of the contest and 11th of the season.
Lango with another assist. We saw one earlier today where she was playing out pretty wide and found Avery Baker cutting in. This time, she finds Gomez on another pretty assist. She was coming around the net. She had recovered that ball after the free position shot. Just kind of laid it over the defender. Gomez was waiting right there in front of the net, and she nets it. Great job by this Eagles offense down the stretch.
As the Eagles bringing in, I believe, the last of that group that didn't start this one, and Maddie McSweeney up on the offensive end. Listed as a defender, but I think the Eagles trying to give out some goals here.
Again, everyone involved. That's the beauty of playing in a game like this, Avery, is everyone gets a little bit of game time experience down the stretch.
I'll put the Eagles up 14-1 now in this one. As I believe Gomez is going to get called for the foul there on Dunn. Two referees disagreeing on the call for right now.
Let's say it was just a loose ball push, which that's what it initially appeared to be. And the Beavers will get an opportunity for possession here.
Like they were trying to decide whether or not to give out a green card on that one. And Vietz is going to take this one away. Vietz out wide to Lengel now. He's had a couple good offensive possessions here for the Eagles. Lengel, a lot of height out there. I think at 6'1", definitely used that height to her advantage on the offensive end. This one given over to McSweeney. Ball trying to find Benoit in the middle. Going to get taken away by Harvey. And Veach coming streaking in. Veach had a steam in front of her, and she's going to cut this one back out. A few seasons ago, we saw Veach get quite a few goals up on the board for the Eagles. 24 last season. Only has one so far in the season. I think moving back to more of a defensive midfield role this year.
And I believe that's exactly right, Avery. She's been playing more defense, and she's done a very good job. A lot of ground balls and caused turnovers for her. She has 8 caused turnovers on the year, but another place where she's contributing is draw controls. She has 22 this season so far, which I believe leads the team, and it does, followed by Sofia Gomez, who's got just 13. So by far leading the draw control. Definitely taking on a different role this year, but still a major contributor.
Well, obviously, we mentioned Veets, the reigning defensive player of the year, so defense has always been in her nature out there, but last year, getting it involved a little bit more on the offensive end. And Maddie Benoit will come out here on the penalty. Farmington, a woman up opportunity here. 6 minutes left in this final quarter of action. And now bringing it up the field is Farmington.
Husson running a zone defense now. Great opportunity for the Beavers. Gets knocked down, and I think this is going to be a free position play, Avery.
Yeah, Dunn trying to make a lot happen on that one. Got pushed to the floor. So she'll get a free position attempt here.
believe this to be just their second free position play of the game. Not able to draw a lot of penalties or contact so far within that shooting box. See if they can capitalize here.
Eagles have played it pretty clean on that end. That one shot quickly and saved by Scanlon. Yeah, Scanlon played in goal versus St. Joe's in their first game of the season. Hasn't played there since. Another one of those Husson women's basketball converted to lacrosse players out there.
Not only is she a multi-sport athlete, she's a multi-position athlete in lacrosse. As we mentioned last week, Avery, Emma Begin really one of the only goalies on the roster for the Eagles. But it's nice to have someone like Scanlon to step in maybe a game like this where you're leading by a little bit more. But just to have that backup goalie in the event that you need it, having two experienced goaltenders, she does a great job on that free position play, getting the save.
Yeah, I think right there on that, I think that situation that you just mentioned, I think right now a good opportunity for her to get some minutes against an actual team out there rather than just in practice. In that case, as McSweeney, I think, trying to send a pass in, but that one loops its way up over the top and into the back of the net. As Maddie McSweeney, the freshman, getting her first goal of her career here with the Eagles.
McSweeney gets her first few minutes here in this game, and whether it was intentional or not, Avery puts a goal or the ball over the head of the goalie, kind of just rolls down into the net. I think it was a pass inside there for one of those other Beavers Eagles attackers, and it ends up going in the net regardless. I don't think Cottonware ever saw the ball coming.
There's kind of a saying that it doesn't really matter how it gets in as long as it gets in there, and that one's definitely true. McSweeney getting the first goal of her collegiate career here with the Eagles. 4'9", freshman out of Belgrade, Maine. A Solonsky graduate. As this one's going to get popped up one cleanly by Lengel out there. Lengel might have some space to shoot on this one. And she's going to cut it inside and try to put this one up over the top. That one off the crossbar, I believe. And Lengel, a chance there to put that one up. Eagles up 16-1 in this one. The last two contests, obviously that Thomas game coming away with a 19-1 victory. Trying to match that score here today. Still 2:10 left in this one. Lengel.
Sorry, go ahead, Avery.
Go right ahead.
I was just going to say, like, they talk about home field advantage. The Eagles get their first win earlier against Thomas with that blowout win, and now looking to get their second win here today. Both times so far only allowing one goal.
As that was Benoit, I think, who eventually scooped up the ball that was kind of fumbling around right there for a minute, right in front of the crease. And she managed to put that one home for the Eagles, getting her first of the contest.
Benoit been one of those contributors all day. Probably she would have liked to see a goal earlier on. She had a few chances, one on a free position play, but gets it there, adds to her stats. But Avery, as this season goes on, they played obviously Farmington today, their first in-conference game of the year. They will take on SUNY Pauley on Saturday, April 6th at 1 p.m. They'll be at Pauley. The men's team will play Pauley here. So first away in-conference game, Avery. Should be an exciting one with a team that's given them some competition the last few years.
That Sunday as well, taking on SUNY Canton, which will be a rematch of the last NAC championship matchup. As a knockdown in the middle of the field, I believe was Rose Mastic out there.
And that's going to be another free position penalty for the Eagles.
And KT Lebacken again in the middle of the field has laid a couple big hits in this contest. So Romatzik here trying to get her first goal of the season.
Referees just getting everything set here as they wait for the draw control, and Farmington's coach will step out.
As Romatzik has this one right in the middle of the field here. Trying to get herself on the board. That one knocked away by the keeper. Looks like possession will stay with the Eagles, barring anything crazy. Lingel's going to scoop it up. Under 30 seconds here. We'll see if the Eagles choose to run this one out or bring something in towards goal. Viets is going to bring it towards goal. This one kind of looping its way around. Couple players trying to fight for it. And not managing to get possession for now. Eventually given back over to Maynard. And under 10 seconds now. This one, Viets missing the catch on that one. That will probably end the contest as the Eagles will come away with the 17-1 victory. The last two contests, 36-2 combined goal differential between those two. So Eagles offense definitely rolling again.
Yeah, and that was one thing early on in the season that they were struggling with, not having that same consistency as they did last year. And these past two home games, Avery, have done a great job both passing the ball and shooting. Initially struggled early on in this game. They did put up 3 goals pretty quickly, but sort of gave up some other opportunities on offense and really cleaned it up into the second and third quarters. And then what was really nice for them was you got to see those bench players come in, got people who don't see as much time, and really be a part of the contribution to the win today. Total team effort for the Eagles.
The Eagles, I think we mentioned, will be going on a little bit of a road trip, 3 straight away games against SUNY Poly, SUNY Canton, and then out in Vermont to take on Linden the weekend after that on April 13th. Before coming back here for a home contest against SUNY Morrisville. Farmington will go to SUNY Morrisville this weekend before taking on Salem State University at home for their home opening contest of the season, all the way in April. I believe Farmington, the grass field out there pretty west of here, have definitely had some big snowfalls on the season. Having to play a lot of away games to start off the year. The Eagles, though, coming away with the victory. Back-to-back wins will move them to 2-4 on the season, while Farmington will drop to 3-4. Eagles 1-0 in conference play now.
Just a huge start to their road back to the finals, to the NAC finals. You always want to win those conference games, and obviously a great start. And Thomas, another one of those teams in the NAC. Obviously the first one was not a in-conference game, but they will face them again before the end of the season. So really it is 2 conference opponents down as they enter the second half of this season and their playoff push.
And that will conclude our broadcast here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. We bid you a good evening. I'm Avery Henningsen alongside Max Sturm.